Hi everyone, this is Dakota McLean, and here's your tip of the week. Hi everyone, as you saw by the title of the video, we're going to be talking about the club path and the face angle and how they relate to one another. The reason why they're so important is due to the fact that whenever you're hitting a golf shot, club path is going to be the determination of where the ball is going to start, and then the face angle is how it's going to curve while it's in the air. We're going to dive into that a little bit. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is the club path. So we're going to be talking about the club path a little bit. So when it comes to the club path, it is the determination of where the ball is going to start. Now, why that is important is because you want it to start on the correct line. Now, that is also coming into a factor if your face is open or if your face is closed. Now, what that means is that if your face is closed, it is pointing to the left when you make contact with the ball. And then when the face is open, that means that the face is pointing right of the target of where you're trying to go to. So I brought on an alignment stick so that way we're able to take a look at that a little bit more rather than you just seeing me swing. So when our club path is over the top, I'm sure you've heard that before. When we do that, our club path is actually coming in at this angle. So it's actually going left of the target. Now we see that a lot of times when we have our swing set up to be like this. When I'm setting up, when I take the club back, it is coming over the top this way. Okay, so we see that a lot whenever we're trying to take a swing or whenever our hips are not initiating a little bit. So that's the first thing that we saw. Okay, and then the other thing is when we're coming in from the inside. So this is coming in from the inside, which means that my club path is going in this direction. So that means that my ball is actually going to start right of the target. Now, obviously, we would like the club path to be on a perfect line like this, where it's going straight towards the target. But sometimes that doesn't happen. Sometimes our hips are not able to do what they used to do. So we want to make sure that we're making all of the correct motions so that way we can get that ball to go onto the target. So when I'm doing this, you'll see that when I take my swing, if I'm coming from the inside, that's from this direction. That means that I'm going out this way. When I'm coming over the top, that means I'm going out, going over the top, and then coming straight left of the target. So when I'm doing that, this is what it would look like if I'm going from the inside. That means that my club path is going this way. Now, that was a very severe inside club path. And then if I'm trying to come over the top of the ball, that means that I'm going to be coming over top of it like this. So I'm just going to be going like that. So my club path is going to be going left, which is what we see right here. Okay? So when we have that, we want to make sure that we're consistently doing that. Okay? So that's just the relationship of why the club path is going left or right. And it's all due to where your starting line is, which is what we're going to dive into next. We'll be talking about the starting line a little bit. Now, the starting line is where our body alignment is pointing to. So we want to make sure that our body alignment is pointing directly at the target we're trying to hit to. Okay, that is what is going to cause us to hit the most efficient swing, and our club path is going to be going in that direction. So as you see, I put a ball out in front to make that as my target line, is where we're trying to start to. So we see this a lot whenever some people are trying to go over the top. Okay, so that means that coming over the top means that our swing is coming over top of our body and then going left. So we see a lot of people, their body alignment is actually pointing right of the target. Like I said, our club path is going to gravitate wherever the target is. So our club path is going to want to go that way. So we see people pointing to the right, and they're trying to hit over top of it to get it on line. So I came over top of it, and as you see, my club path is still positive. So that means that it was going right. That's because my body alignment was pointing right. So you would never see it naturally start left of the target because my body alignment was pointing to the right. Now it's the same way as if you were trying to have that ball, let's just say you're trying to have it start right. So if my club path is going to the right, what we see is that people are actually pointing to the left, which means that they're trying to go this way. They're trying to have their hands and club path go out that way. So when I'm setting up, people are pointing their body left, but their club path is going out that way to wherever the target is. So you'll see that it'll start right and it'll keep going right. We start to see that a lot happen. So you want to make sure that your body alignment is in the correct position. So what we do is you want to make sure that when you're setting up, downstairs is a wonderful tool just because we have this little line right here, so that way your feet are pointing in the correct position. And your goal is try to hit over the top of that target. You want to make sure your shoulders, hips, and then feet are in the right direction. That way you can start the club path in the correct position. So that way you're not hitting over top and you're not coming from the inside. And your club path will always be in the right direction. Last thing that we're going to talk about is the face angle. Now I told you that the face angle is actually going to cause the curvature of the ball. Club path is where it starts. Face angle is what is going to curve the ball left and right. Okay? So when we're doing this, we want to make sure that the face is perfectly straight. Now I know this is obviously the hardest shot to hit in golf is the straight ball, but we try to get as close as possible to it. So if our club path is actually going to go to the right, then we want to make sure that our face is actually closed, pointing to the left, because that's going to cause the curve of the ball to start right and then come back to the left. I'll show you that right here. So if I'm coming from the inside, I want to make sure that my face closes so that way I have a curve back to the flag. So if I'm setting up and I'm coming from the inside, I want to make sure that my face closes so that way I can have it curve back to the left. So you'll see when I do this, my club path is positive and my face closes, which is going to cause that ball to curve a little bit left. Now that wasn't too great of a shot, so I'll try one more time so that way you can see. So when I'm setting up, coming from the inside, I'm trying to close that face. That was a little bit better. So you'll see that it started right, that club path is positive, which means that it's starting right. Face is closing, which is going to cause that curve to the left. Okay? Now it's the same way when I'm trying to hit it to the left, if I'm causing that club path to start left of the target. So if I'm coming over the top a little bit, we want to make sure that face is open. So when we're doing that, we want to make sure that our face is slightly open, which is going to cause that curve back to the right. So if I'm coming over the top of it, which I'll show you right here, I want to make sure my face is open. So if I'm setting up and I'm coming over the top, my face is going to open. So you see, club path is left, face angle is slightly open, which is going to cause that curve to the right. It's all due to the fact that my face is either open or closed. So you want to make sure that you have the correct position. So one way that we do that, we want to make sure that our grip is in the correct position. So if I'm setting up, if my hand is too underneath, my right hand is too underneath the club, it's actually going to close the face. So you'll see that right here. So if I'm right here, it's going to close the face a little bit. My hand is too far, my right hand is too far to the left. When I make contact with the ball, it's actually going to open the face. So what we tell people is we want to make sure that this V that it creates from our thumb to our index finger is pointing in between my shoulder and then my collarbone. That's where you want to have that perfect middle point. So that way you are always having that face angle be in the correct position. So some tools that you're able to use when you're out here to help with the club path is you can use an alignment stick, and you can set it to whatever position you would like, so that way you can stay on this line. Obviously, if I'm coming from the inside, I'm going to hit this part, the front of the alignment stick. If I'm coming over the top, I'm going to hit this back end of the alignment stick. So when I'm setting up, trying to make sure that I have a perfect follow through, my club path is going right on target. So you'll always be able to start that club path in the correct position. Those are some tips that I would like you to do on your own time, or you can talk to one of the golf professional staff. They'll be able to help you out. Club path and face angle, super, super important. So if you have any questions, please reach out to one of us golf professionals, and then we'll be able to explain it a little bit more further, get a lesson with us, because that is what is going to cause your game to be hitting it more online. I appreciate everybody watching my video, and I hope to see everybody next week.